You've got the edge still.
Yeah.
I have product too. If yours is falling, I can help you out.
Oh, great.
Yeah, see? We have my other co-host.
Mark J. Freeman.
There we are. So we are going to take a little trip down memory lane and talk about some things with Blake and find out what he's been up to since he was last seen in Salem. Oh, you know what? That was
you.
me.
I know, I made sure I turned my volume
So
up.
I
get yelled at
apologize, Marissa. I love you. Hi, Marissa in the booth.
Hello.
Sorry, that was me. I usually turn that off. So, Blake, how's everything been since we last saw you in Salem?
Life after death is great.
Yes, we saw you. The last time we saw Nick, he was a bloody mess in a park.
Yeah.
And had just been shot. You know what? When
he was in the hospital as well, kind of a cadaver.
Well, no one paid attention to that. we only rewatched the death scene over and over again, and in slow mo, thanks to Days of Our Lives. But when I first saw that scene,
did they do that? They play it over like.
I mean, they do flashbacks all the time, so they because they have to see you take the bullet and like fall and then
It's
leave the
daytime.
message.
You have to replay it about 12 times.
Totally.
Just
Of course.
for the people that missed that day.
For the people that missed that day, for the people who just tuned in, for the people who looked down and was like, oh my God, what happened to him?
I was actually just thinking that the other day, now with YouTube and everything, I want to write to Days and just be like, okay, we don't really need to do that anymore, because if somebody doesn't know, they can just go online and watch past episodes and find out what happened.
Right.
We don't need to repeat everything that happens
we need to see that happen, because there could be a clue or something that we might have missed.
No.
So when I watched that scene, I do remember thinking, oh, Blake is so lucky, because I'm pretty sure we all practiced if we were in a scene, how we would die. And you got to actually do it.
Yeah.
So
I've never done that.
It was, yeah.
I'm going to live forever.
No, we all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do. We all figure out that one scenario, if I'm in this scene, this is how I would die.
How would you die?
How would I die?
Let's see it.
I don't know. Well, see, it
For
depends.
the Days executives, here's your chance to play
No.
Maxine's
Listen,
son.
no. Listen, we're still #Maxine's son, so I don't want to kill my character off yet. So I'm gonna hold off on that because I don't want to give them any ideas.
Got it.
So how did you feel, Blake, back then because you came on Days for just another stint because we thought you had died in the river.
Right.
But then you had the dramatic re-entrance, and then they officially killed you off. So, I mean, how did you feel about this character that you originated being now officially dead?
Well, I was really excited when they asked me back. I thought it was a really cool direction they wanted to take the character, and coming back to the show was never something that was on my mind, but they made a really kind of attractive offer, and I thought, I was like, yeah, let's do it. It sounds great. Yeah. And I loved the direction that they took Nick. I thought it was a lot more interesting than he was the first time around.
Yeah.
And then I was just supposed to be on for a year, and they said, basically, how long will you stay on? And I said, how about let's just do another 6 months? And so that's when they came up with that river bit. So that was all part of the idea. That was all kind of preconceived.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be a fake out thing in the river, and then I was sad to see him go, because I thought he was an amazing character, one of the most amazing characters I've ever played, and deeply misunderstood, and just kind of obviously wreaked a lot of havoc, but was really cool. I thought he brought a lot of kind of an element to Salem that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. But I, was creatively I liked the idea of kind of moving away from daytime for the time being, and kind of starting to explore some other stuff.
Yeah. Because when, going back to the beginning of Nick, as you mentioned, Nick came in as a very, geeky, nerdy, kind of fun character. But
it's totally different.
At a dance or something, tripping around and all that stuff.
Well, he was modeled after Napoleon Dynamite originally.
Yes,
got it.
Yes.
And then it kind of became, I went into a Graduate-esque storyline with Billy and losing my virginity.
Right.
And then he kind of became this, just kind of pathetic like puppy dog lover to Chelsea who just she walked all over him, and he was just like, oh man, this will never happen. But then and then he went psycho with Melanie, which I thought was really cool.
Completely psycho and dark.
And I loved that
really
stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think Gary Tomlin, who was the head writer at the moment, I remember like when they called me up to tell me the first time that, they're like, good news, you're going into a great storyline, bad news, you're fired. And but I was fine with it because like I was young and I was just like, oh, this is great. Like I had the run that I wanted to have on the show, and I was eager to start acting in some other contexts. Yeah. And but that was the aspect of the character that they brought back when they did. I don't know if it was just like kind of like skin deep research, like, or if they were just like, that's the best part. But either way, they were right. I mean, I thought the most interesting aspect was like the kind of obsessive part of Nick Fallon, and that was something I had a lot of fun exploring. Yeah, because Nick totally went dark and deep and like creepy almost, especially during that time with Melanie, and especially when you came back, like from the river part. I was just like, ooh, I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Yeah. What other parts did you enjoy about playing Nick, especially with that wide range that you could play him with? Like, what else did you enjoy just about that character? I mean, I guess I honestly thought they wrote it really beautifully. Like, And I was surprised because I think soap operas kind of have like the stereotype, right, is that it's a kind of, they're all two-dimensional characters and people, but I really thought they wrote an amazing character, and I had so much fun kind of getting into the layers of why was he so obsessed with Gabby, like why was he alienating himself, was he so thoroughly kind of isolating himself in the community and forcing people to hate him, and kind of, he became this pariah, but kind of in an ivory tower, and it's kind of lonely at the top, and then it killed him basically. Yeah. And I don't know, it was just, I thought there was so much there to mine and play with, and I think he got kind of like power hungry for a while, and there was this like everybody's heads will roll kind of Michael Corleone thing going on. And
I remember when you went to Kate and you were like, you're gonna give me a job and this is what you're gonna pay me. Yes. I was like, you go, Nick. Just to see someone talk to Kate like that is like, so demanding. Chris here was asking, what do you remember most of your first day on Days?
Oh my gosh,
the very first day.
The very first day. So I was that Napoleon Dynamite shit or stuff, and like you're like, I had to do this olive trick, like a trick with a martini glass, which I don't actually remember what it was, but Ashley Benson was Abby, and Rachel Melvin was Chelsea, and it was my first day doing anything, and what I remember, I came from a kind of I'd never watched soap operas, and I had like a theater background, and especially right after I graduated, I think I was just a little bit of a punk, and like I was like a little cocky, and so they came. One of the producers, a really nice guy, came up to me and he said, "So get this, like, what if you did this whole monologue like a film noir?" And I was just like, why would I do that? and I remember like Christian Alfonso or somebody like pulled me aside, and they're like, "You're fucking awesome!" Like that you just like told the executive producer to like, screw off, and that you weren't gonna do that. But I wasn't trying. Like I just thought it was. I was like, well, why would he start acting like he was in a film noir? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I think probably somebody gave me that note now, I'd like totally do it. Right. But anyway, so that was like part of my first day. But Rachel was really amazing. She showed me all around the set, and Ashley was really wonderful to work with. And and I also remember I think the first scene I did, like I was just so much louder than everybody else because I'd been doing theater. And like people were like, "Oh, like, geez, like calm down." Yeah. And I think I noticed it too. Like I remember watching, coming out onto the stage, and I think it was Christian and Peter were in a scene, and I was watching them, and I was like, I can't hear anything they're saying. Like, I'm just kind of like, talking like this. Yeah. I think so too. And I was just like, okay, so that's the thing. Right.
That's great.
That's amazing. Did you ever watch Days at all before you went on?
No, I had never really watched Days, but I did in my junior year of high school, I did like for an assignment. I think it was The Crucible and The Scarlet Letter. I decided to turn them into a soap opera. So Passions was the one that I happened upon. And so I started watching some Passions, and I modeled the whole movie. Like they made a movie about it after Passions, and there was lots of, tags and, kind of those shots of like people talking. Like if I'm talking to you, I'd like talk to you like this because because I just can't bear to look at you.
I get that a lot too.
Comes useful in life as well.
Does.
So, yes, it does. It does. No, I remember Martha Madison told me when she started Days, she tried to like go back and like figure out like the history of everyone and like how the families were and all that. And I'm like, good luck, sister. Because
I didn't do
I actually had to write yours down. I had to go and Google it. I was like, I have to remember now how Nick is a Horton. So your parents are Jessica and Joshua Fallon.
If you say so.
And Jessica, your mother, is Marie Horton. Marie Horton's your grandmother. Okay. And by you, I mean Nick. Okay. And then Marie is Tom and Alice's daughter.
I love that you have that figured out.
I said I had to do it. It was right as he was walking in. I was like, oh, dang God, I got that done in time in case he quizzes me.
Listen, if I don't know, I think you might have quizzed him.
Well, somebody else that was on our show said you guys probably know more of the history than the actors do.
I find the fans are like much better.
Well, these guys are always Susie and
they
and
saw
they're always
it. I mean,
checking
like,
us.
I think like if you ask me about like The Sopranos, I might be able to tell you about that.
But that's the one thing that the fans liked about your character and the way that you played Nick. You were just brilliant with it, and people always commend you on how well you played him and how in depth and committed you were to him. So kudos to that.
Thanks a lot.
Susie just said, Cheryl, I hope they ask him that, but I'm looking to see what Cheryl asked because now you piqued my curiosity. Well, what could she be asking?
Well, Leah Mulder says Nick was hot the second time when he came back.
Not the first.
Not the first, not the pretend one,
much.
but like the second time. So that was that.
Oh, it's maybe this that they're hoping that you're actually, because you could not be dead potentially. It's daytime.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of theories. Yeah.
So she said maybe since Gabby may be getting out, you may be coming back too.
Is Gabby going back?
That's rumors.
She is actually.
Rumors.
It was just,
Camila's going back?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Would that convince you to go back?
I mean,
because you just lit up when we mentioned Camila.
I just think it's great. I love Camila.
Yeah.
I love Camila.
Well, you guys had like a lot of scenes together. How was it working with Camila?
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's just, I loved working with Camila. She's just so vivacious and like nice and wonderful to work with, and she's beautiful, and we had an awesome working relationship and friendship, and I like, she has a very special place in my heart.
Yeah, because she too got great scenes as far as like, especially the river when
she's an amazing actress. I think she's awesome.
She's and outside
Hence
of that,
her
she's
Emmy
very
nomination
fun
as well.
Yes, exactly. I text her. I said, "You are still a winner to me."
Well, and I was reading too that you were listed as one of, like, it was the year that you the last time you were on, that they were saying that you were one of the big snubs at the Emmys, that you should have been.
I agree. I'm sure others would agree too.
Yeah.
You should have.
And everyone in here is too saying how much they loved you are a frighteningly good psycho.
So Cheryl wants to know, how did Days convince you to pose naked with a heart pillow? Do you get that question a lot?
There was no convincing, but like.
They were like, oh wait, he's walking around with the heart pillow. Let's still throw that in the scene.
No, it's just like, they're like, this is the scene you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
You don't get to say like, I'm not doing that.
You mean like you did earlier?
I think I had an option. If I did, that picture wouldn't be on the internet. But I don't know. I thought it was fine. Like, me and Camila had fun with that scene. It was
said
that
that
picture haunts me
you
a little
looked
bit,
really
but
naked.
well, yeah. I mean, there was like a contraption
Right.
that you wear, which I honestly, I was like, what is that? I was like, can I just do it naked? And they're like, no.
Yeah. Just
I was
in
like,
case.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, kudos to the wardrobe
She
department
says,
for
was it
whipping that
awkward
up.
for you? Sure.
Was it awkward? Yeah. I mean, a little bit. I mean, I think that the contraption was awkward.
Right.
Was the awkward thing. I don't mind. I don't know. Like, I think as an actor, like, you're constantly like changing and clothes, and I don't know. You just
Right.
kind of forget about it. Like, you don't.
Another day
It's not
at
a
the
big
office.
thing to me. Kind of.
Yeah.
Who else did you enjoy working with while you were there? Because you had scenes with a ton of wonderful people and veterans of the show.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know.
Well, like it was great to work with Christian and Lauren. Like I got a lot of screen time with them, and I just think both of them are amazing to work with. Ali Sweeney was awesome to
Yeah.
work with.
Oh, yeah.
We really developed like a great kind of friendship and kind of way of working together. Galen and Kate Mancy are two of my favorite people in the world. They're
Yeah.
just the best, and I'm still in contact with both of them. And Chandler was I think like one of the best actors I've worked with.
Yeah.
I think he's just amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah. Everyone truly misses Chandler.
I see that a lot in the chat room.
Yeah.
People are like, "Where's Chandler coming back?"
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know him like that. Who did you not get a chance to work with that you wish Nick could have interacted with and got a chance to have scenes with?
No, I mean I think I made my way around really. I think Joe Mascolo, like Stefano would have been
Yeah.
cool to work with, right?
Yeah.
Like, and Eileen Davidson. I think that would have been great.
Somebody actually said something in here. I kind of saw it that they said they wish that you were there with.
Yeah,
Henry
and
Davis.
Eileen and I really got along with her. I like her vibe, and anyway, it would have been cool to.
Can you imagine if Nick and Kristen got together and did like evil?
Yeah,
devilish
Eileen and I
shit?
like that idea.
That would.
be
I think that would have worked
fantastic.
really well.
We would have like burned the world up.
You
We
know,
would have just
Days is a cougar
exploded.
town now. We've all
Oh, yeah?
decided. Like, it's just, I mean, that's just, I think that's how they're going with everybody now.
Cool.
Every
Yeah.
relationship now is.
Well, there's not
that's
that
great.
many guys in Salem, and all the girls are just kind of bouncing around.
Is it true? Is
to all
the
of them.
ratio
It's-
outweighed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence why I am all about hashtag Maxine Sun.
Oh, I thought you were going to say mine.
What?
Hashtag bring Jack back.
No, I think hashtag Maxine Sun is better.
You and Jack. Then we got
Yes.
two more guys.
There we go.
There we
Then-
go.
then that can
So-
work. Then that can
and then
work.
if Camila comes back, maybe we can convince Blake.
So who at Days really helped you while you were there, like in the beginning, kind of, took you by the hand and showed you the ropes and
Rachel.
gave you great advice?
Yeah, Rachel Melvin, and it was just super great. Showed me the ropes, literally, like, not literally. There were no ropes.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was kind of the one to show me around, and we're still friends.
And coming from, such a theater background, and then coming into soaps where, everything is so fast paced and so quick, was that intimidating for you to now be in this realm of like having to have that emotion so quickly, and you only get one shot, one chance opportunity sometimes?
Oh,
to
it
do
was great. I mean, I think it was like the best training you can get, because I think that, as an actor, it's good to not get too precious about what you're doing and to be really instinctual. And I think I was, especially at the beginning, like a more heady actor. Like I think I could get in my own way, and I think that Days really like kind of trained me how to get out of that way.
Yeah.
Nice.
And like you just don't have time. You just do it, and
Yeah.
you're like, here I am in the situation, you like blink whatever action, and like you're there, and that's your girlfriend, and that's your mother, and whatever, and like
Right.
that is the reality that you are operating under, and you
Yeah.
maybe know your lines, you maybe don't, but that's kind of like real life too.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
and you just exist, and like try to ride the wave of, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I just think there's nothing like it as far as training goes, and I feel like a confidence as an actor from kind of having come out the other side.
Yeah. If Nick hadn't been killed by Gabby,
Which is still a possibility.
I mean, listen, anything in Salem is a possibility.
That's right.
Which direction do you think he would have gone in? Because right before he was murdered, he looked like he was on the path of redemption and kind of going, oh, I wasn't on the right path. I'm now going to kind of steer and kind of, do you think he would have gone that way, or how would you have liked to see him?
I think people change and people don't change, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a certain amount of change that happens after a certain age, and I do think people are capable of making huge changes in their life, but your operating system is your operating system,
right? And
I think that you can change the context that you're operating in order to make your life healthier and be a better source of good in the world. But that you have the system that you have in a certain respect, and I think that I think it would be interesting to trace that challenge for him and to figure out where and how he would be a positive contribution to society. I think he's mentally unstable and possibly bipolar and borderline personality disorder or something, but I thought it would have been interesting to maybe explore what is going on in that weird brain of his.
Because he did have a very interesting way of thinking. He was a very interesting character.
Well, and I think he was brilliant in a lot of ways. It was just kind of misguided.
Yeah.
So I mean, the trick would be just putting that hyperactive brain to use more positively. But I think even seeing the challenge of that not working is still interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why I liked when I don't remember what the job was. Was it some sort of science job that you were trying to get, or in the labs or something of Mad World? Something along those lines. And I thought, because I always feel like it's they either have to be a cop or they have to be a lawyer on the daytime. So I liked that. It's
different.
You had something that fit you. I felt like it fit you. Like Nicole now, she's an investigative reporter. I'm perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. She's nosy.
She's
that's
nosy.
Perfect. I wish they would put more of thought into that. And really made me happy that Nick was. I mean, he kind of came up. I mean, when he started, especially, was the nerd. So it was okay, but now he's kind of the mad scientist.
Element of
you know
that.
what I mean?
I
feel like you kind of. How old were you when you started?
21, 22 or
right.
something.
So you aged on. Not aged. You're not as old as me.
No, I did. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think a young. Obviously, you're a young Nick is very different than a more mature Nick.
Yeah. And speaking of that, which time did you enjoy the most during your time on Days? Because again, you came back
the second time.
The second time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was
I feel
after the river or
yes.
before?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, right. Well, maybe I think that after the river stuff was great. I mean, I loved all the stuff. I loved working with Freddie and Chandler and Camila during that whole kind of nuclear family struggle. I thought that was cool, and it was cool to be part of that storyline on that show because I thought it was really brave for Days to finally go there and important, or maybe not brave so much as important. But and I was happy to be telling that story. Yeah. That was exciting. But I don't know. I loved the mad scientist stuff. I thought that was really fun.
I still love that scene when they were in the church and everyone looked and you came in and was like, oh, am I interrupting? And I was like, he's just so nonchalant about it because this whole time everyone's like, he's dead, and everyone's been worrying someone's gonna figure it out, and Kate, Sammy, and Gabby are always on edge, and then all of a sudden you just nonchalantly just come back in, and I was like,
yeah,
bravo.
Yeah, that was great.
Bravo.
That was
a fun scene.
Yeah, they're all. See, this is why we have the chat room too, because they like to fact check us. So they're all telling me that you worked at the university in a lab and you actually invented something. And by you, I mean Nick.
Yeah.
I know that he's actually not Nick. I get that all they think. I don't know. And they never showed a funeral, so there is a possibility that.
Well, I don't. Well, listen. I think no one would have attended Nick's funeral,
that's true.
That's why they didn't have it.
All right.
Me and Tony would be.
We don't know that.
Well, I mean, if I were booked that day, I would.
Right.
I would have sat there just like this. He was a good soul.
And I'll come in a veil.
In a big veil.
A veil and a big black gown.
So everyone, well, before we go into what you're up to now, what did you take away from your whole experience of Days?
I think just like a discipline, and like I guess like a confident relationship to my craft. Like I just thought it was a great, you know, like I really valued the time that I spent there, and I feel like I'm a much better like actor in person because of it.
Yeah. Now everyone's very anxious to hear about what you have been doing after after you left
They're
Days.
asking.
And you've had a lot of success as far as with like different projects and movies and stuff. You were in a movie called The House of Last Things.
That's right, The House of Last Things.
And that did really well in like the film festivals.
Yeah, it had a good international run on the film festival circuit, and it's a really cool movie with RJ Mitty from Breaking Bad and Lindsay Hahn, amazing actress. And anyway, we shot it up in Portland, and yeah, it's on Amazon now, and Netflix is on as well. And I encourage people to watch it.
Make sure you guys watch it so that way you can see what Blake did after Salem, because there is life after Salem.
Meth Head, you got 2 film
Meth Head.
awards. One for the the International Film Festival Gasparilla Film Festival. You won Rising Star Award and Best Supporting Actor Award at the San Diego LGBT Film Festival for Meth Head. Yeah,
Meth Head was a great experience. I loved working on that, and both of those are out in the world now, and you can see them. And I just wrapped on 2 films this year, and writing has kind of become like a big part of my life. And I just wrote a film which they filmed in Mississippi and will be on Lifetime in June, called The Neighbor. And I have a film called This Shining City, which we're assembling our cast for, and we're going to shoot in Pennsylvania later this year.
Gina Rodriguez.
Yes, Gina
Am I not allowed to say
is
that?
amazing.
She's on IMDb, so I figured if it's on IMDb, I can say it.
Gina's a really good friend of mine,
He's like,
and
"Don't
she's
say that."
amazing, and she wants to do the script, the film, and I just think she's phenomenal, and I'm so excited about all the success she's had recently, and I think she's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that you had a lot of writing and producing credits lately, so I thought that's good.
You're obviously, when you're in this industry, you have to be a very creative person. But which are you starting to love more, if that's even possible, the acting side of everything, or now the writing?
Well, I think they complement each other really well. I still look at myself as an actor first. But I think the writing has been really fulfilling to me, and I'm excited that it's now something that I can, do as a job. Yeah. And that's an exciting prospect to me.
So if you could write a character for yourself, one that you haven't played yet, but you are just really itching to play, can you describe that character?
I'm working on it now.
It's top secret. I thought I was.
And will there happen to be a really queeny guy with big hair in it?
It was you.
Yes.
It's like a vision come true. Like he wrote it,
and he
couldn't visualize it.
But sorry, you don't have the part. I'm doing it.
See, if your hair was that much taller,
a little bit taller,
then,
I knew if I wouldn't have cut it,
then you would have gotten it. We have some questions in the chat room, and I think we've had quite a few.
I was gonna, while you're looking, I'm just gonna ask really quick, because I felt like when I was looking through your IMDb and doing my research, which I like to do, I just felt this is a bad word choice, but I feel like a lot of the stuff lately seems to be on like a darker side. I mean, I was just kind of reading the bios and stuff of the films, like with the Meth Head and Swipe, even with not dark. I don't know. I
know what you're saying.
Feel like, and then it was like Hannah Montana. I was like, wow, he's come a long way from Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Not that Hannah Montana's a bad thing.
Although
I'm just saying,
I played a zombie on Hannah Montana, so
right, I did, and then I saw that too. I was like, oh, but he was a zombie. But I did.
No,
is
I'm
it something
excited.
that you enjoy, like the darker.
I
stuff?
love it all. I like doing anything that's good. But I think I kind of have been maybe yearning to lighten it up a little bit. One of the movies I just did is called Living Room Coffin, and even though it sounds dark, no, but it's it is. It's like a comedy, or it's kind of a morbid comedy, but it'll be a kind of festival flick, and I'm really excited about it. I think this girl Jennifer Prediger, who's the lead of it, is amazing, and I think it might come out really well. And then I also just finished a screenplay that we're hoping to make soon. That's like a romantic comedy, and so I've kind of been trying to lighten it up a little bit and things. Yeah.
People just have lots of comments. Someone has said, Blake, you have a nice body, so kudos to that.
Thanks.
A lot of people have asked, and I'm almost scared to ask you, would you contemplate coming back to Days?
You know what I like to say is, like, I'm always up for entertaining all options. I think whenever an opportunity presents itself, you have to weigh it and see if it's like the right time. And last time, at the moment that they asked me to come back, it was perfect, and I'm really glad I did it.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, I think we all enjoyed when you came back too, and I'm sure the characters Gabby, Sammy, and Kate were a little relieved because if we had to watch them go through Salem, looking over their shoulder and whispering, and like it's one of those things. This is one thing that's always interesting about soaps is when something happens, they keep talking about it, and they keep talking about it in public. Like, text each other, email it. Do you like some sort of code that was like, remember when we killed Nick? Like, don't keep like rehashing it, and like after a while, I got nervous. I was sitting in my house like, did I do it? Like I feel like I'm an accessory to it. I know about it. Yeah. They did it. During that time, you did have a kind of like a sidekick. I don't know his real name. I always called him the greetings guy. How was that?
Who was this?
I don't know his real name, but he was the older guy that saw them do it. And they became like,
and he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah. But how was it working with him and suddenly Nick kind of having this kind of sidekick that's like,
it was fun.
I'm going to protect you.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. He seemed like a fun guy.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a nice guy.
I'm so sorry if you're watching. But I don't remember.
He is too
I mean, he could be. But I don't remember his name. I always called him the greetings guy, and every time he came on, that was his thing. Greetings, and I'd be like, oh my god, that guy's
they made
here.
a thing out of it.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, he knows. Be careful. Be careful of that.
So we'll just put it out there. We're gonna pretend you're coming back. So if you are, and they sit down,
I'll go with you,
because of your film noir stance on the set, that producer's there and says, okay, well, we want your opinion.
Yeah.
Who do you want us to pair you with? If you got to pick one of the women that you got to work with, and this is not saying that one
is
of them's better
Eileen
than the
on
other.
the show now?
Sure, she could be if that means you're going to be back.
Yeah, I think Eileen. Yeah,
I like that.
Well,
I like that.
They just killed her off.
No, but she fell. She could be missing.
Well, I mean,
maybe Nick was there to catch her.
In purgatory.
As we said yesterday, she fell, but there was like a secret chute that
was his name.
Oh, Percy. There was a secret chute that like she fell in that went into a secret cave where she's gonna hide out for the next 5 years.
Kind of live off the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know.
100 years in solitude type thing.
Yeah, I mean anything is possible in Salem. One phone call can change a whole storyline.
Oh yeah, we learned that.
Yeah. Which is why
because I missed the phone call. That's how I didn't know that John was no longer a Brady or a DiMera.
Yeah, exactly.
And I showed up to AfterBuzz not knowing.
Well, had you paid attention to that phone call and not gotten pizza rolls,
I was just gonna say, don't steal my line.
Then yeah,
They never close doors on days. That's true. I always say that.
I think
You always know when someone's going to be listening in because normally they do close the door. But anytime they leave and the door stays open, I always go, oh, someone's going to be listening to the door now.
Well, there's always someone eavesdropping, as we saw this past week.
What is this? Martha Madison has a script. Are you interested?
Sure.
I love that.
Maybe this is her manager, Cindy. Is her manager? She has a script. Are you interested?
I'm interested.
She's in. He's in. Sorry, actually.
Well, Martha has a new project that's coming out in August called Mrs. Winterthorne.
I thought that was already started.
They filmed, but it's coming out in August. And there's a lot of people, like Linda Gray is in it, and Kirsten Storms is in it. So there's a lot of people that are doing it. So I don't know where that came from, but Cindy, Blake is
I'm just reading what I'm
interested and available. So yeah.
Hashtag pizza rolls.
What?
Hashtag pizza rolls.
Oh my God.
I talk about pizza rolls a lot because when I miss things on days, I always say it's because I got to get my pizza rolls. So I walked out of the room. But
it's a good excuse.
So now it's our hashtag.
Whenever Melanie is on, that's when he tends to.
So how is it working with because I think Cheryl and all these people, they love Melanie. I am not.
Who doesn't? You're not. Oh, you don't.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know Molly. This is not against Molly. I had an argument with my friend on the way here. It's not about Molly. I just don't like. I just yeah. But how was it working with her? For everybody in the room.
I love Molly. I miss Molly. Yeah, we had a great time working together.
Okay, good. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't cut him off. He was giving praise to
that
Molly
was for
Burnett.
Daquan because I'm sure if he's not in here, he'll watch this tomorrow. And he'll be happy that
he's gonna
have about Melanie.
He's gonna have your head if.
Well, we kind of sliding doors to each other both times. Like she came on and I left, and we kind of had that storyline, and then I came on and she left, and
she's mentioned you a couple of times this return.
Right. Yeah.
Your name has come up a few times.
Well, I kidnapped her.
Hence.
And became obsessed with her.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of love, Nikki Nux 22 asks, who does he think Nick's best love interest was over the years? If you can call them love interests.
Your sexual
obsession.
I mean, I don't know. He's had some good ones. I mean, between Chelsea and Melanie and Billy. I think Billy was pretty good. I mean, there's nothing like your first, right?
Right.
You always remember your first.
I remember that. I remember because I'm a huge Billy fan. So that was cool.
But that was
the you were setting up the cougarness that's going on now.
Julie's hot stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've been pretty lucky. It's been all the women I've gotten to work with have been really, really great.
I think I liked you and Gabby together.
Yeah.
I think that was the best.
I mean, that was the incarnation of the Nick character that I liked the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that things didn't go.
I mean, I didn't.
But I thought me and Rachel always had great chemistry, and I liked working with her.
Well, that could be a new triangle because I think Billy should come back to be with Bo. So that Hope can stay with
Bo
Aiden.
back on the show?
Well, he's supposed to be coming back for the 50th, but that Hope has a new man.
Aiden, no, I know.
Okay.
Daniel Costa.
Daniel is great.
Yeah.
So I'm
Daniel
saying...
actually did a reading of my film for me, actually, in New York.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Daniel is...
We love him.
He's funny.
He's phenomenal.
I loved
actor.
him with Hope.
I think he's so good. I saw his Emmy reel this year, and I just thought he was, amazing. And we did a couple of scenes together. I think he's really, really great.
Yeah, he's very fun to be around. I will tell you that.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I see he's done a couple of the Deidre Hall does those Kitchen Minute
YouTube
things, and he's been on a couple, and he's really like, wow, that's not at all what I was expecting him to be like as a you just see him on the show. I don't get to go to the fan events like Tony does.
Well, I only go because I host them.
But you're still
so I'm working.
Right. But I'm saying you just know him outside of the show. So.
Well, that's true.
That's what I'm saying, and none of my comments about Melanie are ever about Molly because I don't know Molly.
You may get to know her very soon.
I may. I'm hearing rumors.
I'm so looking forward to setting him up one Sunday and having Molly just walk in and recap with us,
right?
And see where his face falls.
I'll be happy to have her there. I'm sure it'll be a delight.
So Blake, you have writing projects coming up. You have more acting gigs coming up. You've been doing a lot since you've left Salem.
Yeah, it's been busy.
That's good though, because we always fans always do wonder what happens to their favorite characters and their favorite people after Days, and it's always good to know that you're still working and still creating and still doing stuff. I'm looking forward to the Lifetime film that you wrote in June.
Yeah.
Because
And I'm gonna be. Oh yeah, and then there's this movie Swipe as well.
Right. That he's
Swipe. Tell us about, because that's I think we've seen pictures of that on social media.
I put an Instagram out.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about?
Sure. It's
Swipe?
like a Tinder thriller.
Oh boy.
And Anna Hutchinson is the lead, and she's wonderful. She had a film called Cabin in the Woods that I saw that I actually think is really great. It's like I guess it's a horror film, but it's pretty brilliant. It's really smart. And this is like a fun kind of thriller, you know?
Tinder is very scary to me.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, this is what this is capitalizing on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So now I'm gonna watch that movie, and like after that, delete my Tinder. So this will make me do that. And can you tell us about the Lifetime movie that's premiering in June? Because Lifetime movies, they will suck you in.
Yeah.
I recently had that happen to me, so I try to skip over Lifetime movies sometimes because
Sucked in.
yeah, because you have things to do, but you're just oh no, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
So you just kind of sit. So tell us about the movie that's coming up in June. And of course, we will remind you guys when it premieres and all that. So
yeah, I'm excited about it. They assembled a really great cast for it. Katrina Bowden from 30 Rock. What's his name? Chris Zilka from The Leftovers and Spider-Man. And Olivia Crociccia, who is in a film that I really loved called Palo Alto, are kind of the leads. And they shot it in Mississippi. It's a thriller. It's about kind of these two young mothers, and you know from the beginning that one of them is going to kill the other one. And so you kind of spend the movie guessing, how's this going to go down? So it's fun, and it was really fun to write. It was great.
Nice. Well, we will definitely tune in to that. I will make sure that I watch that in June.
And we'll make sure that we mention it and remind everybody.
We will.
So it gets the best ratings in Lifetime history.
So that way you can write another Lifetime movie.
I think we're going to, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little sneak peek there. Well, if you need someone with your hair, Mark is available.
I can be a stunt double.
Yes.
So our time is almost up with Blake. First of all, I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Reliving your Days of Our Lives moment.
Reliving the days of my life.
Dun, dun.
You saw what I did there? Yeah.
Set that up.
Before we leave, will you let everyone know where they can follow you, on Instagram, Twitter, what other social media stuff that you have?
Yeah, I'm on both, and it's just my name, Blake Berris, one word.
You're so simple in that way. I like that.
Easy to find.
Yes, very easy to find. So make sure you guys follow him so that way you can keep up with all things Blake Berris. And Mark, where can they find you?
Mine's simple and easy too. Lorraine Love. LORAYNELOVE.
That's not simple. Because everyone always asks, what's Lorraine Love?
Well, Google it. And you'll be careful what you look for, though.
Oh, boy. And, of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and did I name them all? And Facebook, at Lounging with Tony.
And Tinder, too, right?
If you find me on Tinder, make sure you swipe right to see if we're a match. And, of course, you can find me on loungingwithtony.com. And, of course, every week we bring you a weekly recap of your favorite soap opera Days of Our Lives every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you tune in then. Once again, thank you so much, Blake, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for tuning in. And we will see you next time on AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.